The same on the left. That's exactly what the voters are saying.
Do you think we should tax people based on their race?
No, but I definitely don't think
That's what he's running on.
1,600 people should have been pardoned on January 6th. That's exact. So you tell me the difference.
You guys get your January 6th stuff. I'll wait.
Oh, gosh.
We'll wait.
Where in his campaign and he said he's taxing people based on race?
Statement today. Said he wants to shift the tax burden. He said he wants to shift the tax burden to white neighborhoods.
Yeah. He did say that?
Yeah.
It's on his website. I looked it up.
Yeah.
It's there.
It's there and it's bad.
Scott Jennings joined the panel on Table for Five, or as they pretend to call it, Newsnight with Abby Phillip, airing at noon on a Saturday for reasons no one can explain. But timing aside, they tackled a major shift. The Supreme Court just delivered a 6-3 decision slamming the brakes on Nationwide. Injunctions. Translation? District judges can't just freeze a president's entire agenda anymore. Long overdue. And while that was unfolding, the Democratic Party in New York decided to go full parody, nominating a literal communist for mayor, not even hiding it. If you're in New York, you might want to start investing in burqas, niqabs, and hijabs, because that's where the market's heading under this leadership. Just a heads up. Let's roll the clip and watch Scott Jennings do the one thing that short-circuits every smug Ivy League panelist at CNN. Tell the truth. Let's get into it, Si.
The nationwide injunction is officially dead, and the court taking an opportunity here to do something that a lot of conservatives perhaps have wanted for a while, but as we've discussed plenty of times, the nationwide injunction has been sort of the bane of the existence of Democrat and Republican presidents. It's just that now this court has actually done it.
Yeah, they finally done something about it. Friday was a great day for Donald Trump. The market ended at all-time highs. He's breaking peace agreements in the Oval Office on Friday afternoon, and then the court really clears the way for him to enact the agenda on which he ran. I was trying to sort out my feelings on this matter, and I came up with a quote from a very smart lawyer, and I just want to quote it because I think she was right when she said it. It just can't be right that one district judge can stop a nationwide policy in its tracks. Justice Elena Kagan in 2022 said that, of course, when we had a Democratic president. Now, she voted against the decision on Friday. It just goes to show you that some of these folks really are hacks. But as you correctly said, this has been the bane of existence of presidents, and I'm glad they went ahead and fixed it, because it's not right that one of these individual district court judges can act like a king or a monarch and stop the elected president from acting.
The hackery
did the most. I just hope you can give them the respect they deserve, because they came home to fake news and like, oh, gee, there was hardly any damage. The things are decimated. Oh, yeah, here we go. Wait till you hear this question.
Thank you, sir.
You should really say how great our soldiers and our warriors are. You know what? You should be praising those people instead of trying to find some. By trying to go and get me, you're hurting those people.
Or get in line, and that is the problem right now for me. It's not about how we're reporting on it. I think the American people have enough information to understand, yeah, it wasn't a pinprick, but some damage was done, but there's still more to be done. Obliterate, it's fine. I don't necessarily, you say what you want to. We know this is a president who will say whatever comes to his mind when he feels like it. We'll fact check that later, and then we'll deal with it. That's how it seems to me. But what is happening? This bullying, it's nonsense.
I agree.
Nonsense.
You have a look on your face. I need
Yeah, I have a slightly different take, of course. I think a concerted effort was undertaken to make this mission look like a failure. I think they have a point. This was a low confidence report, which was omitted when it was first reported. We didn't use the word low confidence.
Talk about what low confidence
It was a preliminary report, and it was sent. It was done by the government, put on a system, I guess sent over to Congress somehow, and now the White House thinks that some Democratic members of Congress leaked it or characterized it in a leak in a way to try to make it seem like the mission was a failure to hurt Donald Trump politically. So I think they have a point about why they're upset. And what have we learned since? Israel says these things were decimated. The IAEA thinks they were decimated. Even Iran says massive damage was done to our nuclear sites. I do think that when it comes to Donald Trump, often the position of covering him is this must be disproved. And when it comes to Democratic presidents, the position is we'll take it at face value.
On the issue of who wants to make this look bad, I mean, that's your opinion. I think that's fine. But the reality is, when Trump says the Iran nuclear program has been eliminated, he basically said it's done, it's ended. There's a real legitimate question about whether that's a factual statement. And just this week, he was asked, what are you going to do if Iran is able to enrich uranium again? And he said, well, we'll bomb them again. Does that sound like a nuclear program that he thinks is completely gone? So, I mean, clearly there is a factual question here about whether or not the threat has been eliminated, and even Republican senators like Lindsey Graham have acknowledged, and others, the threat has not been eliminated, and that is something that American people need to know and understand.
The threat has not been eliminated yet, and it will never be eliminated as long as these butchers are in charge of Iran. I mean, that is a true story. As long as they're in power, even if we have obliterated what they currently have, which I believe we have done that, they will always be seeking to bring about the end of the world with a nuclear weapon. And so as long as they're in charge, I suspect they will always be.
The Supreme Court just dropped a bomb,
Court
and it's a good one. This isn't just a win for Trump.
Not just for Trump.
This is a win for the Republic,
for the
for
entire
every
country,
voter,
for all of us.
even the ones
even
foaming
the
at the
people that
mouth
hate
every
Donald
time
Trump.
they
It finally
hear his name.
ends the abuse
Because
of nationwide injunctions
finally,
where
the era of
random
rogue district
single
judges
district
halting
judge
presidential
could block an
agendas with a
entire
single stroke of the
presidential
pen,
agenda with a stroke
it's done.
of the pen.
Dead,
It's not checks and
buried.
balances. It's
That wasn't checks and
judicial
balances.
tyranny.
That was
For
judicial
years,
activism in a cheap
both
robe.
of Trump's terms,
For years,
Democrats have been
Democrats
weaponizing
turned it
this
into a
tactic
political
to
cheat
stall
code,
every
stalling
single
everything
thing
Trump was elected to do.
This
Now
is good
that door's
news,
slammed
man.
shut.
That roadblock
And here's
is
why this
gone
matters.
now. At least
Trump can finally carry out the mandate voters gave him.
retained a little
No more
power,
fake
but
humanitarian
I'm not too
schemes.
concerned about
No more
it.
federal cash
So why
for
is it good
ideological
for
pet
everyone?
projects.
Well, Trump
We're
can
talking
finally implement
stopping
the
reckless
policies
refugee
voters actually
pipelines, cutting
chose,
taxpayer-funded sex
putting
change
freezes on
surgeries,
reckless
and
refugee
putting a leash on
resettlement,
bloated, broken agencies that
cutting off
haven't been
federal
held accountable
funding
in
for
decades.
taxpayer-funded
These aren't radical
transgender
ideas.
surgeries,
These are the basics.
slashing
what a functioning
wasteful
country does when it
spending,
actually
and
gives a damn
restoring
about its own
accountability
people.
to government
Meanwhile,
programs.
Trump's out
Remember
here
all those
brokering
things we
peace,
voted
pulling
for?
off military
These aren't
operations with
extreme
surgical precision.
positions.
And what's
They're
the media doing?
basic priorities
Spinning,
for a country
twisting,
that's been
scrambling
ignored
for a
by the
narrative.
ruling
They
class
bury
for
key facts,
way too
slap
long.
low confidence
And I
labels
know
and
there are
footnotes,
too
and
many
call it
examples
journalism.
to count
Because
to-
here's the
that
ugly truth they'll
demonstrate
never
this,
say
but-
out loud.
but Donald
When
Trump
Trump
is just
wins,
built
they
different.
lose.
Mamdani and even his out there proposals, that actually kind of rings like Trumpism. You know, when people were like, he was like, no taxes on tips, no taxes on all this other stuff. Everybody was like, that's not really going to happen. He's just saying that. People expected him to do it, and now he's trying to do it. And I do think that Trumpism has basically made a lot of voters think, why the heck not?
I mean, he wants to empty the jails of violent criminals. He wants to defund the police. He says violence is an artificial construct, and he would like to tax you based on your race.
Just to be clear,
These are not mainstream political thoughts.
Trump pardoned 1,600 people who stormed the Capitol. So when we talk about outlandish things when it comes to law and order,
if you want Gotham City to be overrun by these criminals, go ahead.
No, I'm just saying.
Stop
Scott, my point is only that, like,
he's running on it, not me. I'm just reporting
My
it.
point is only that when he pushes the envelope on economic policy, on things like pardons, you can't be surprised when voters are like, well, if they're going to do that on the right, then why can't we do
the same on the left? That's exactly
do you
what
think
the
we should
voters are
tax people
saying.
based on their race?
No, but I definitely don't think
That's what he's running on.
1,600 people should have been pardoned on January 6th. That's exact. So you tell me the difference.
You guys get
tell
your
me the
January
difference.
6th stuff. I'll
Wait,
wait.
gosh.
We'll wait.
Where in his campaign and he says he's taxing people based on race? I saw
Statement
a
today.
text on
Said he wants to
based on
shift the
people that
tax
make over $1
burden.
million.
He said he wants to shift
Whiter
the tax
neighborhoods.
burden to white neighborhoods.
Yeah.
He did say that?
He did. It's
Then I
on his
stand
website. I looked
Well,
it up.
yeah.
It's there.
It's there, and it's bad, and I just don't think you can compare some of these things that he has said to what Trump has done. Trump is running on basic mainstream Republican conservative stuff. This is completely outside the mainstream of American
Let me give you
politics.
another example. Trump wants to withhold disaster relief funding from blue states.
How
Cool
is that-
with you?
That's not true.
He literally
He said that. What are you talking
he
about?
actually said
From
that,
my
and
state,
actually,
in
he's
particular.
tried to do it as president. So I'm just look. My only point
You
is
are
is
such
that
a mess.
is that when politicians push the envelope, as Trump is the most successful politician to push the envelope in virtually every arena of political life.
Correct.
This is what we talk about when we say
So
the
you're saying-
extremes on both sides
you're saying that-
are. The voters are basically saying, why not?
Why not?
Why not?
That's it.
And when they say why not on the right, it looks like Donald Trump. When they say why not on the left, it looks like Zoran Mamdani.
Why is it so different? Why does this bother you? I don't understand. That's a really good point. Two extremes. What is this?
Why does it bother me that
Yes.
New York City might be run by a radical socialist?
Why do you not see the
I mean, why
policy
doesn't it bother
connection?
you?
Why do you not see the
I don't
policy
even live
connection?
here and it bothers me.
Why do you not see the policy connection?
Because
you're saying these are not two extremes. Donald Trump is not an extreme, as he is an extreme as well. You're saying that?
I don't think Donald Trump is an extremist. He won the national popular vote.
Oh gosh,
I got to admit something, and yeah, it's kind of embarrassing. When I first heard that Trump wanted to withhold disaster relief from blue states, my knee-jerk reaction was, whoa, that's harsh. That's what I thought. Straight up, like, why would he do that? But then something snapped. That little voice in my head, the one built by years of media brainwashing, finally shut up long enough for me to think clearly. And suddenly, it made perfect sense. If a state refuses to follow federal law, if it openly defies immigration enforcement, shields criminals, and acts like a rogue nation, why in God's name should it get unlimited federal aid like everything's normal? Trump's not being petty. He's setting boundaries. He's saying, if you want support from the federal government, then act like you're part of it. Meanwhile, you've got California, Sanctuary Central, blocking ICE, refusing to cooperate on deportations, harboring violent offenders, and yet they still have the audacity to come knocking for $5.6 billion in federal disaster and infrastructure aid, just this year. Let that sink in. There's a word for that, freeloading. That's what it is. Endless handouts, zero responsibility. And somehow, we're supposed to just keep writing checks? Trump's stance is crystal clear. No more blank checks for rebellion. The sad part? We actually expected these people to have some integrity. But it's California. Let's not kid ourselves. Now I want to hear from you. Did the Supreme Court go far enough? Or do these activist judges need to be reined in harder? Should states that flip the bird to federal law still be cashing billion-dollar checks? And bigger question. What happens to a democracy when the press treats legal victories like existential threats? Drop it in the comments. Now, before we wrap this up, quick heads up for my loyal Nex-News viewers. Starting this week, I'm dropping short-form versions of these uploads. Repackaged segments, tighter runtime, different thumbnails, and clearly labeled with clip up top. That way, you don't click on something you already watched. I'm doing this to hit more eyeballs, but I'll always keep it transparent for you. You deserve that. Of course, most of you probably don't care. This is your favorite channel anyway. You'll probably click it just because you're in the mood to see someone actually say what they think. Or maybe you're just tired of the YouTube clowns pretending they're deep when they're just loud. Either way, if you click, if you comment, if you're riding with this channel, I see you. I appreciate you. Thank you.